Good evening, everybody. I'm Monty White. Alongside me is Kirk Hutchinson. And Kirk, these two teams no stranger to each other in playoff football. 2 years ago, the Dodge City Red Demons won their matchup. Last year, Derby won the regional matchup between the two. We're looking for a good game tonight. Last year is 13-6. We're looking for another slugfest tonight.
Well, it's almost like you ought to just put them on the schedule every year because they're going to meet. And tonight should be another great game. Two undefeated teams. They've both played well. They've been impressive lately in their first-round playoff wins. So it should be a barn-burner of a game. More of an offensive game than the defensive struggle we had last year, I think.
A lot of people are looking towards the offense this year. For Derby, you got to start with Tyson Malik. The tailback has rushed, put up big numbers this year against everybody he's played against. Missed the first game of the year. Since then, he's been on fire. Also, watch out for the passing of quarterback Barry Galbraith, and he is a good one. He has thrown for 19 touchdown passes this season. On the Dodge City side, it's a guy named Goolsby.
Well, it is. It starts with Brian Goolsby, over 1,400 yards rushing this year. But then you've got Andy Smith, over 600 yards rushing. Ty Cahoon can run the football from the quarterback spot, and as we found out a few weeks ago, he can pass the ball when he needs to.
He certainly can, and last year in the state championship game, the Derby Panthers were up on the Lawrence High Lions, looking to end that string that Lawrence has put up, 5 straight state titles. You know that's got to leave a little bitter taste in their mouth. Derby certainly wants to get back to the state championship.
Well, that's got to be the primary focus on their mind tonight. Lonnie is getting back at a shot at Lawrence again, assuming Lawrence beats Olathe East tonight, of course. That's what they're focused on. But Dodge City thinks they've been a championship caliber team the last couple of years. They just haven't gotten to prove it yet.
And one of the goals of this Dodge City team coming into the year, Brian Goolsby said anything less than a state championship will be unacceptable. We've got Roger Wallace coming up with the coaches right after this. And welcome back to Panther Stadium, rather, on the campus of Derby High School for tonight's game between the Derby Panthers and the Dodge City Red Demons. And Kirk, we've been looking forward to this one for quite some time. It seems like about halfway through the season, you could see this matchup starting to set up. Dodge City, their last loss, actually, came to Derby in the regionals here last year, and you know they want a little bit of revenge.
Oh, sure they do, and I think a lot of people have been pointing toward this game since very early in the season when they could see that both Dodge City and Derby were obviously going to be talented football teams with a chance of getting into the playoffs again, and you could see the matchup developing all along, that they were probably going to meet in the semifinals with an opportunity to go play for the state championship. And, boy, I'm looking forward to it. And look at the crowd we've got here tonight. There are people all across this stadium just gathered in to watch this football game tonight, and they're still coming in.
And the Dodge City Red Demons take the field under head coach Dick Masters. The Derby band still on the field. We'll take a break and come back with the starting kickoff right after this. And welcome back to Panther Stadium on the campus of Derby High School. Earlier this evening, Roger Wallace had a chance to talk with both coaches, and here's a little bit of what they had to say.
Dick Masters joins me now. Coach, this is what it's all about, a Friday night, a packed house, and two of the Class 6A teams in this part of the state.
Well, that's true. We're really happy to be here, and Derby's got a fine football team, and we know we got our work cut out for us tonight.
First about the Derby Panthers. 2 years ago, you guys beat them in the playoffs. Last year, they beat you here. What do you see as the key to stopping them?
Well, they've got a well-balanced football team. They throw the ball well, they run the ball well, they have a tough defense, so we've just got to attack all of it, I think, and do the best job we can.
What's the key for Dodge City? When you guys are going well, what has to happen?
Well, our offensive line has got to really get to work and opens up some holes for our running back. We like a lot of misdirection with our wing tee, and at the same time, we have some power plays we run with Brian Goolsby. So overall, I think that offensive line has to open up some holes.
What's the health like on your ball club?
We're pretty healthy right now. We've got a few nicks and bruises, but other than that, everybody's going to play.
Is it a sense during the week where you keep them pumped up, but you don't want them looking ahead because they know if they win here, they get a chance at that state championship game?
Oh, you got to play them one at a time at this point of the game. The teams are too tough in Kansas to overlook anybody like that. So we're going to come out and play Derby and give them our best shot.
Dick, thanks a lot. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Dodge City coach Dick Masters, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Roger. And we are getting set for the kickoff. It's Dodge City versus Derby this evening. And Dick Masters mentioned one thing that has been a key to this Dodge City season. injuries. Last year, they did get quite a few nicks and bruises, and it really hurt their season. This year, they have been relatively healthy.
Well, last year where they really got hurt was on the offensive line. They lost a couple of key linemen early in the season, and that really set them back. This year, that line has been able to do the job opening up the holes for Smith and Goolsby and Cahoon and Priest and Ontiveros when he's carrying the ball, because they've been relatively healthy most of the season, and that has been a key. And the play of their line will be the key tonight, because they've been able to blow people off the ball when they've been on offense. They've been able to shut people down when they've been on defense, but it's been because of that line, those 4 or 5 guys up front hitting hard, and that's what's made the difference so far for Dodge City this season.
Well, Derby's going to get the ball to start this game. Dick Masters will have his offense, or his defense on the field, rather. Coach Tom Young will send out quarterback Barry Galbraith for the first possession of the night. We've got the kickoff coming up. Corey Moses will do the honors for the Dodge City Red Demons. He tees it up at the 40. We're looking forward to a good game tonight, and as you said, a huge crowd here. Seldom do you see a stadium this size where they have people standing up all the way around.
They're lined to both end zones on both sides of the field.
Moses has the ball teed up, and we're just about underway. Fans coming to their feet on both sides. Settle in. It's going to be a dandy. Dodge City versus Derby, and we are underway. Moses' kick is high but short. And was that a fair catch? No, it wasn't. It looked like the upback might have called for a fair catch. He's stacked up at the 30, moves forward to the 32. That's Shelby Werman, the starting fullback, who comes up to about the 31-yard line for Derby. That's where they will take over on their first possession.
Well, a really short kick gives Derby some really great field position to start with at the 31, but for Dodge City, the defense often keys what they do the rest of the game. We saw that against Garden City in particular with the interceptions, the turnovers they were able to force, so we'll see if they can key something here with their defense. This is where Brian Goolsby likes to play. Let him hit somebody.
Dodge City is going to come out playing them tight right off the bat. 10 men up close to the line of scrimmage. Here's Malik coming to the near side. He is pounded out of bounds, maybe a gain of 1.
And 3 or 4 Red Demons over there very quickly. Jason Brandenburg was over there. Brian Goolsby got over there. Ty Cahoon was over there. Let's take a look at it on the replay. There you see from the Derby side of the ball, they'll be coming right at you on the handoff, and he's just trying to get outside, and there's really nothing there. Dodge City's got that snuffed out all the way. There's Troy Thomas coming over with the hit as well.
Second down, they'll give him a gain of 2, so we'll call it 2nd and 8. Galbraith with an I formation behind him. Malik now will split out and go in motion to the near side. Galbraith on a quarterback draw. He is nailed by Brian Goolsby. Barry Galbraith meet Brian Goolsby.
The key to being a successful linebacker and playing well at that position is staying home and watching for those kind of plays, and that's what Goolsby did. He waited for the play to develop. When he saw Galbraith coming through, he said, now it's my turn. Look at the hit he put on him right there, and that's what Brian Goolsby likes to do. That's how he likes to say hello.
And Goolsby has done that to a number of quarterbacks this season. The one that comes to mind right off the bat was against Emporia, where he just leveled the guy on the option. 3rd, and let's call it 6. Galbraith will most likely go to the air. Here comes Malik in motion to the near side. Galbraith straight drop back. Dances around now. He's looking deep. It is almost picked off, and it is. Good play in the defensive secondary by Jason Brandenburg. That's the old tip drill.
Terrific coverage. Ty Cahoon made that play happen. He got in front of the ball, in front of the receiver, knocked it away. Could have had it himself, and Brandenburg very alert. Here's the replay now. He's got time back there. Galbraith's got decent protection, and he makes a good throw down here, but Ty Cahoon steps right in front, deflects the ball. You'll see it behind him there, and Brandenburg with a great dive.
Dodge City sprints up to the line. They're ready to go as their defense has come out and made a statement early. You're not going to run on it. Handoff up the middle to Goolsby. Goolsby bouncing off tacklers across to about the 50-yard line. Call it the 49.5, but there's where it looks like Brian Goolsby's stacked up, and then he keeps on moving.
Well, that's the secret or the power of Brian Goolsby in action right there as he gets hit early on, and he just won't give up. The line opens the hole, and Goolsby does the rest once he gets through there. Tyler Malik hanging on for dear life to finally finish him off.
2nd and short for Dodge City. They may go to the air here early. Let's see. Good play to do it on. A little mix-up, and the ball is fumbled. Now Cahoon comes out, struggles, tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. I don't believe he did, but he only lost about half a yard.
You know, one thing they say about this Derby Panther defense this year versus last year is that they're quicker. and so they're going to get to the ball very, very quickly. There's Cahoon losing the snap. Now he just tries to make as much out of it as he can, and there's really nowhere to go. He's cornered very, very quickly. There's Malik getting in there in the backfield.
Got a timeout for an equipment check on the Derby side, but like you mentioned, Kirk, it looked like possibly Cahoon might have had some running room just at the start, and Derby closed in a hurry. I don't think Cahoon was ready for that snap. I think it was going on one, and he thought it was going on two. Everybody else went on one.
It sure caught his hands by surprise anyway.
3rd and about 3 now. Cahoon on the keeper, follows Goolsby into the hole. He's going to be close to a first down.
Depends on where they give him the spot there. He was stretching as far as he could, and he'll be, from this angle, it's hard to tell. He's got it.
He's got the first down. No move of the chains with 8:55 to go here in the first quarter. If you're just tuning in, Derby on their first 2 plays went nowhere on the ground. Then they put it in the air. An interception by Jason Brandenburg gave Dodge City the ball.
Dodge City has done that against several teams that wanted to try to loosen them up with the pass this year. They've had pretty good pass defense, and right now we'll see if they decide to keep it on the ground or not.
Cahoon with the split backs. Here's Goolsby up the middle, just bowling over people once again. Not much there, but he still makes a good 3-yard gain out of it.
Well, Dodge City is so good up front at just moving the pile forward. Let's take a look at it on the replay. And here you'll see that surge forward from that offensive line. They just move the pile forward, and then Goolsby gets in there, and he just pushes a little more. The guys up front like Jeremy Dirks, Tony Esparza, Bruce Redenbaugh, Brady Pollington, Shane Webb, they've been opening the holes all year long.
Second, let's call it 7 for the Dodge City Red Demons at the Derby 45. Andy Smith's first carry of the night goes off the left side. Not much there, but once again, Dodge City making something out of nothing this evening.
And the versatility of the Dodge City offense, you give it to Goolsby, maybe Cahoon will carry it, but then you've got Andy Smith. So they've just got so many weapons back there they can keep coming to. Defenses have to worry about so many running backs. And then, as we've seen earlier in the year, he hasn't shown it yet tonight, but Ty Cahoon can hit on the pass as well.
You mentioned the versatility. The top 5 rushers for Dodge City, all over 7.2 yards a carry. Here's the handoff to Smith on the left side. He's going to be stacked up well short of the first down. That'll bring up a 4th down at the 40-yard line. Interesting call early on for Coach Masters.
Yes, it is, and a good stop there by the Derby Panther defense. They really held the line that time. We've talked about the key of line play all season long. It's really a key in any level of football, because if the line can open up the holes, you can make a lot of things happen. That time the defensive line held for Derby, and looks like Dodge City's going to go for it. They're in Derby territory. Not a bad call right here.
You wouldn't expect a long count here, would you?
Why not?
Fans on both sides on their feet. Cahoon on a long count. Now he'll give it to Goolsby up the middle. He breaks through for the first down. Good job of second effort running by Brian Goolsby.
Well, it was. He was met at the line of scrimmage. They had him for just a moment, but Goolsby with those big legs, he's 235 pounds. Remember that. He likes to just keep driving and driving. Here's the replay. He's hit at the line, and he just will not go down. He's got 4 Derby Panthers with him when he finally gets to the turf.
Well, that's got to boost the confidence of the Dodge City Red Demons right now with 6:39 to go here in the first quarter. Got the ball at the Derby 37-yard line. Pitch play to Goolsby, the near side. First sweep play we've seen, and I don't think that's going to work. The quickness of the Derby defense showing right there.
Number 75, Ross Draney, a 6'1", 231-pound senior, was in the backfield saying hello to Brian before he could even get the corner turn. Let's take a look at that one on the replay. And that's not really Brian's forte, the sweep to the outside. He's a power runner, and there's Draney getting up behind him, and then he's got 4 other Panthers there as well to say hello. Andy Smith might be able to run that sweep, but I'm not sure that's Brian's play.
That's a play just to keep him honest, I think. Cahoon now with everybody in tight. Will fake the handoff. He'll take it off the left side. He goes nowhere. Maybe gets a yard. But a good job of pursuit by Derby once again.
And there's Ross Draney again, number 75 right in there, along with number 44, Jeff Raylander, 5'10", 183-pound senior getting in there to shut things down as well for the Derby Panthers. 2 very good football teams going at it here tonight. Both teams playing some good, solid defense here in the first quarter.
Well, a passing situation for Dodge City. They've thrown the ball 40 times this year, or Cahoon has thrown the ball 40 times this year. Completed 20 of them. He'll drop back, looks for his man out in the flat, and it's off the hands of the intended receiver, Ronnie Freese.
It was just a little short. Priest had to reach back for that and just couldn't haul it in, but there was good coverage out there. He might not have had much yardage even if he caught the ball. Here's the replay. Cahoon looking over just a little short. Priest kind of reaching behind him, and good coverage that time from the defensive back. And I was trying to catch who that was. I think that was Nathan Phillips.
Yes, it was. And now Dodge City will punt the ball away. Should pin Derby back into a hole here. On to punt is Kevin Gwaltney. Gwaltney gets the kick away, and it is taken at the 10. Brought to the near side by Malik, to the 15, to the 16, and brought down there. Nice return by Tyson Malik.
Good pursuit for Dodge City down there. Several guys getting down to cover on the defense that time. And if I can catch everybody that was down there, Tim Benson's down there. I think I also saw Shane Webb, a couple others getting down there as well.
Rapidly moving first quarter. We're just at the 5-minute mark. 5 minutes to go here in the first. Still no score in the ball game. Derby ran 2 plays and threw an interception. Dodge City had a drive going, then it stalled out at about the 35-yard line. Galbraith wants to throw. He's being pressured out of the pocket. Still more pressure. Freese can't get him, and he is chased out of bounds on the far side by Troy Thomas.
I was going to say, Monty, Troy Thomas came off the line and chased Galbraith down all the way out of bounds. Good speed that time from the senior from Dodge City. Troy Thomas, who has 5 sacks on the season, he's had a terrific year.
Certainly has. On the season, Troy Thomas with 42 tackles, 5 sacks, and 1 horse racked up to his credit.
Yeah, and 1 horse brought to its knees.
They get 2nd and 8 for the Derby Panthers. Corey Gurley split out to the near side. I formation in the backfield. Here's a handoff up the middle to Shelby Werman, and he breaks forward across the 25, maybe to the 27 before he's wrestled down by Brian Goolsby.
Good push that time from the Derby offensive line. Guys like number 50, Doug Simpler up front. Number 75, Ross Draney. We've called his number on defense. There's a good hole for him. Brian Goolsby finally shutting him down. But good surge that time. Also number 63, D. Duncan, and number 73, Jason Raitmeyer, and number 74, Josh Ask for Derby. And they're measuring for the first down right now.
And it appears Derby will have it. Yes, indeed, they do. So Derby moving the change here in the first quarter. 4:33 to go. And this has got to give them a little more confidence after that first drive went nowhere.
Well, you've got 2 power running teams and 2 power defenses, so there's going to be a lot of give and take here tonight. There's going to be moments when you're going to be able to shove them back, moments when they're going to shove you.
Galbraith with men split out to either side in the I formation. Here's Werman up the middle, and Goolsby once again in on the tackle. So was Bruce Redenbaugh for the Demons.
Bruce Redenbaugh in there, and also trying to catch who the other guy was out there. Don't have him on the board. Jeff Dalton, number 45, in there as well on defense right now for the Dodge City Red Demons. He's been in on a couple of plays. And he's just a sophomore.
2nd and 7 now for Derby. The Panthers trying to draw first blood. Dodge City moved the ball in their first possession, but then it stalled out in Derby territory, and they had to punt it away. Galbraith once again working out of the I. Malik up the middle. Malik is hit by Troy Thomas, and it looks like Goolsby in on that tackle as well.
Thomas was there. Shane Webb had great penetration, though. Forced Malik to cut in a little quicker than he wanted to, and he ran right into Bruce Redenbaugh. There's the pitch. Malik coming up. Here's Webb right there saying hello, and there's Thomas and Goolsby and the rest.
Chet Schmidt also coming in to help finish him off. 3rd and 6 for the Panthers. Last time Galbraith went to the air, he was picked off. Passing situation once again here for the Panthers. And Galbraith does indeed drop back. There's Andy Smith to sack him in the backfield back to the 20-yard line.
Well, they like to bring Andy Smith on that blitz sometimes from the defensive backfield, and he was coming all the way that time. You could see him starting up 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, just waiting for that. Here they come from the left side, and here comes Andy Smith from the bottom of your screen. He'll come shooting through, and Galbraith never really had a chance.
Dodge City's defense is a bit of a gambling one. They'll put a lot of guys up at the line of scrimmage. They'll bring a lot of blitzes. almost daring you to throw deep because they think they can get there before you can get the pass off.
Well, they're big, strong, and they're fast, so they're willing to come after you.
Shelby Werman back to do the punting duties. Snap's a good one. And the kick is a nice spiral back to the 41. The ball's on the ground. Freese better get on that, and he doesn't. Derby has recovered the punt. It looked like Freese was trying to pick it up, and he should have just dove on it.
Ronnie Freese made a crucial mistake that time. He thought he had time to field that ball like a grounder. He was going to go over and just field it, pick it up, and run, and Derby was coming hard. They weren't waiting for anything.
And with 2:08 to go, our score is still knotted at 0-0. We'll be back with more Dodge City Derby right after this. And welcome back. A bit of a mix-up. The officials didn't see the timeout signal, and play resumed. Brian Goolsby with a big sack of the quarterback, Barry Galbraith, back across the 50-yard line. Now here comes Malik to the near side. Good job of twisting and turning down to the 45. He may have gotten inside the 45 to the 44.
Well, he's pretty close to the original line of scrimmage right there. He got to the line of scrimmage of this play. He was hit right there, but he just squirmed through. He just would not go down and then dove for a couple of yards there at the end. There he is sliding through, keeping his feet long enough to dive forward inside the 45-yard line. Good run.
And now we're inside of 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. And we've got a timeout on the field. It looks like Troy Thomas has some equipment problems. We'll take the break as well with 24 seconds to go. Dodge City nothing, Derby nothing. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Panther Stadium as once again a slight mix-up on the field.
I think the officials are enjoying the game too much to stop. They don't want to wait for anything.
It's been a good one so far as Galbraith goes deep. The pass was broken up.
Ty Cahoon back there in coverage, breaking that pass up, doing a good job. He's played well in the defensive secondary on 2 pass plays tonight.
2.9 seconds left. And Derby will be punting once again. Shelby Werman on to do the duties. Snap's a good one. And the kick's an end-over-end wobbler out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. And with that, we've come to the end of the first quarter. Score at the end of one complete quarter. Dodge City nothing, Derby nothing. We'll be back with more on KUPK right after this. And welcome back to Panther Stadium on the campus of Derby High School. Monty White and Kirk Hutchinson. We've played one quarter. Our score still knotted at 0. Dodge City versus Derby.
Well, the two teams have traded mistakes in the first quarter. The interception that Brandenburg picked off, and then the fumble by Ronnie Freese on the punt return. Neither team able to take advantage of that good field position, though. And right now, Dodge City is going to start deep in their own territory, inside their 20-yard line. See if the Red Demons could get that running game cranked up and just march it down the field as we've seen them do so much this year.
We'll take another break before we start the second quarter. We'll be back with more right after this. And we're set to get the second quarter underway. Dodge City versus Derby to see who goes to the state finals next week to take on either Olathe East or Lawrence High. This could be the end of an era for Lawrence High. They actually passed the school bond in Lawrence, so they're going to build another high school. More on that later. Handoff up the middle for Dodge City. The ball is loose. And once again, Dodge City's put it on the ground, and Derby recovers.
Well, Andy Smith was really getting jostled out there that time if he was trying to fight for yardage, and somebody just reached in and knocked it away, I think. Let's see if we can see what happens here. There's the give to Andy Smith, and he gets stood up very early, and then he's fighting for yardage, and number 34 reaching in and just swiping it away. Shelby Werman making the play that time to knock that ball away, and Derby is in great field position.
We've called Shelby Werman's name a lot this evening. He's had some good runs at his fullback position. Had a couple of good punts and has also played some pretty strong linebacker for the Derby Panthers. Now Derby in the red zone already. Galbraith on a long count. Hand off to Malik up the middle. He'll gain about 3, maybe 4 down to the 15.
Dodge City there quickly, though. The Red Demons, that line, you've got Troy Thomas, Shane Webb, Brian Goolsby was in there as well. Mixing it up very quickly to slow him down, and we'll see. Derby has not had any long sustained drives. This is just a short one. They only have to go another 15 yards here, but maybe the Red Demon defense can hold them here.
Dodge City once again getting just about everybody up within 6 or 7 yards of the ball. Here comes Galbraith on the option. He is run down by Brian Goolsby. The big guy got outside and took him down.
Goolsby, as we said earlier tonight, and we've said during the season, he loves to hit people. He likes to get in there and play defense. And it'd be interesting, we talked earlier in the season, he's a pretty good Division I prospect, but maybe on defense rather than offense, because he really likes to play that linebacker position, get in there and hit some people.
Yeah, I think he enjoys hitting more than getting hit.
And he's got the size for it. He's 6'2", 235, maybe a little bit more pounds.
Derby's going to call a timeout with 10:40 to go here in the second quarter. We'll take the timeout as well. We'll be back with more Derby versus Dodge City right after this. And welcome back to action. Dodge City versus Derby. Barry Galbraith dropping back to pass. We have flags everywhere, and that gives Kirk a chance to read one of the messages from the State High School Activities Association.
You know, role models are more important than ever in today's society, and you can serve as a role model for others the next time you display good sportsmanship at a high school athletic event. Good sports are winners. Everyone appreciates the good values portrayed by acts of good sportsmanship. This is a public service message from your Kansas State High School Activities Association.
Good ball. Ball start. Green. 40 feet, third down.
And the penalty does go against Derby, so they make a critical mistake because they were in field goal range. Chris DeVore, the kicker, has hit a 32-yarder. That backs it up to now where it's about a 37-yard field goal.
I think that's the first penalty we've seen so far tonight, isn't it, Monty?
Yes, it is. Barry Galbraith, 3rd and 11. Will try to get his troops down into field goal range or get a first down. Here comes the Dodge City defense. He lobs it for the end zone. Picked off. Dodge City with their second interception of the night. And what a big play that was. Getting back there was Chet Schmidt once again.
You could see him when that ball was in the air. Chet Schmidt was playing like a center fielder back there. He was just tracking that ball all the way. Let's watch the replay on this one.
Well, as high as this one's thrown, Kirk, I think he could have fair caught it.
Galbraith really put this ball up in the air. He fires it. It is up in the air a long, long time. Now, look, Schmidt is 10 yards away from the ball when it's in the air. What a move by him to get over there and pick that ball off. Intended receiver was Tyler Malick, and he never had a chance. Schmidt showing his speed that time, and like I said, he had time to get over there, playing center field. Just gets over there and picks it off.
Now Dodge City gets a break. Both teams have kind of shot themselves in the foot here in the early going. That's why we're still at 0-0. Goolsby to the near side. Goolsby up the middle. Goolsby into the secondary. He's got one man to beat, and he's dragged down from behind at the 45-yard line. Nice run by Brian Goolsby.
And it was David Russell who finally dragged him down, staying with him all the way. Here's the pitch to Goolsby. Goolsby just lowers his head, leaps over one guy, and starts running right through people. Good blocking up front from that offensive line. And as we said, Russell finally corralling him, bringing him to the turf, but not until he'd gotten close to midfield.
Well, people think this kid can't run at a Division I school. I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Kahuna quarterback. He'll follow Goolsby this time. Not a bad place to be as he picks up 4 yards with 10 minutes to go here in the second.
Well, I never said he couldn't run. I just said he likes to hit people. And you get to hit them harder when you're on defense.
Yeah, I think defense probably is his best position, that linebacker or a defensive end, but man, this kid has the talent.
I think he can play wherever they want him to.
And he says he just wants to be on the field. He'll play wherever they want him to play. Well, Dodge City's glad he's playing for them tonight. 2nd and 6 for the Red Demons. Once again, trying to put together a good drive. Now here's Andy Smith. He comes off the near side, still gains 3. That Dodge City line really getting the push.
Well, they're pushing forward, and when you get that push, you can get that 2 or 3 yards right off the start, and then it's up to the defense to try to shut you down. And this time, they do a good job of recovering after the initial surge, and 3 Panthers end up in there, bringing him down to the turf. Aaron Robbins, number 49, one of the guys in on that stop that time. One of the few juniors starting as well for Derby on their defense. They start a lot of seniors.
3rd down and about 4.5 for the Demons. Cahoon wants to throw. He's got pressure. Now he breaks away. Pressured once again. Still on his feet. Cahoon fights his way back to the 50, back to about the line of scrimmage, but a good job by Ty Cahoon just to get back there.
He did a terrific job to get back to the line of scrimmage. He was stopped 3 or 4 times in the backfield. Look at this rush that Derby puts on. Everybody is coming. Number 87 is Josh Rydell. He's out there first. Number 44 is Jeff Raylander. There he is. Cahoon gets away from him, and he's got 2 guys to beat there. Number 49 coming in, Aaron Robbins, we just mentioned a minute ago. And there's Rydell again. And they finally bring him down.
And for the second time tonight, Dodge City will drop back into punting formation. It's a bad snap. And here comes Gwaltney to the near side, just getting as much as he can back to the 40-yard line before he's chased out of bounds. Another critical mistake by the Dodge City Red Demons. We'll take a break with 7:54 to go. Our score, Dodge City nothing, Derby nothing. We're right back after this. Welcome back to Panthers Stadium. 7:54 to go before halftime. Neither team able to crack into the scoring column, but both teams have made critical errors at critical times.
Red Demons have been shooting themselves in the foot a lot here in the first half, and again, it's up to the defense to correct the mistake.
1st and 10 for the Panthers inside the Dodge City 40. Tyson Malik up into the middle. He is going to be taken down after about a 2-yard gain.
Well, a good hole up front, as we mentioned. Both teams with good lines, and they can open up the holes up front, but then the linebackers get in there, and they've been keeping the runs fairly small on both teams. Malik shooting through the hole, but then he's greeted by a couple of guys. Troy Thomas looked like he was one of them in there, bringing him down.
Might think back to the Liberal game. You remember at that time, they were Dodge City doing basically the same thing to Liberal, pushing them off the ball, getting big plays, making drives, but they made some mistakes then. They've made some mistakes tonight as well. We thought it might catch up with them. Here's Shelby Werman up the middle. Werman breaks one down inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Big run by the fullback.
Terrific run by Werman, and he really fought his way through there. Let's take a look at it on the replay. He's coming right at you. Cuts inside Goolsby, and then he's got a big hole. Cahoon can't bring him down. And Chet Schmidt trying to get over there to bring him down. And finally, a couple of Red Demons were able to bring him to the turf. But a good run that time by Shelby Werman. And Derby gets their first big play of the night and a chance to really open things up now. They're within striking distance inside the Dodge City 20.
Shelby Werman, 3 carries, 31 yards so far this evening for the Derby Panthers. Galbraith will pitch to Malik, rather. Malik fights his way inside the 15. He was stood up, but then drove forward. Dodge City finished him off after a gain of about 4.
Looked like Jeff Dalton was over there to stand him up, and then got some help as well. Here's Malik coming through. Number 45, Jeff Dalton, and then Troy Thomas and a couple other guys whose numbers I didn't catch getting in there as well.
But possibly Goolsby in on that tackle at the end as well. 6:18 to go. And counting here in the second quarter. Been a good ball game. No scoring as of yet, but a lot of hard hitting. 2nd and 6 for the Panthers. Dodge City showing blitz. Galbraith on the option. Will cut it up for maybe a gain of 2. Dodge City did a good job of shutting that one down.
Good pursuit. There really wasn't anywhere for him to go. The line was holding its place. Brady Pollington, one of the guys in there. Troy Thomas as well on the stop. Goolsby coming up to help. And good defense. Now they need another stand like they've had earlier, and another stand like that play right there, and try to keep Derby from taking advantage of that big mistake.
So far, Tom Young has gone to the pass on 3rd down, and it hasn't paid off for them as they've been intercepted twice. See if he doesn't stay on the ground here with 3rd and about 4.5 to go. No, Galbraith's going to throw it. He's looking down inside the 5. It is caught, and it'll be a 1st down. That is Tyler Malik, rather, on the catch.
Let's take a look at that one on the replay. He was just over there along the sideline waiting for it. Galbraith's looking left now. He finds Malik. Here's Malik turning right in front of you. Just waits on the ball, catches it right there. Schmidt makes sure he's not going anywhere.
Nice catch right off the shoestring by Tyler Malik. Another look at it, and you see he goes down after it. Nice play. Now fans on both sides cheering on their troops. Galbraith has an I formation. He'll hand it to Tyson Malik off the right side. Stood up at the end zone. Oh, they give him the touchdown. Oh,
Didn't look like he got the ball across, but they're going to give it to him. They say he got there. He was reaching with the football, trying to reach it across. Let's take a look at it on the replay. See if the ball breaks the plane. He was close. Here comes Malik running right by you. There he is, reaching. I don't think so. I don't think so.
They would have had 3 more shots out of it. I don't believe he got in. 4:57 to go. Derby draws first blood. And now, is Derby going to call a timeout on the extra point? I believe they are. Yes, indeed. Derby calls timeout. Not real sure of what they want to do. Let's take a look at the tail end of this play once again. See if the ball crosses the plane.
See the
goal
line right there toward the bottom of your screen on the right side, and
boy, it's close.
From this angle, it doesn't look like it. If you were straight across on the line, I don't know. The official was standing right on the goal line. He said he got it in.
Yeah, once again, they would have had 3 more shots at it, so in all likelihood they might have gotten in, but nonetheless, the play stands. It's inconclusive.
Yeah, can't overturn it.
4:57 to go. Derby has drawn first blood, 6-0, and boy, this crowd just continues to grow. Now Derby will line up for the extra point. Chris DeVore on to do the kicking duties. 163-pound sophomore. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is right through the upright. So Derby takes a 7-0 lead on the 4-yard touchdown run by Tyson Malik, and they lead Dodge City 7-0. 4:57 to go here in the first half, and what has been a very entertaining ball game, Kirk.
Well, we talked earlier in the season, Monty, about how Dodge City was going to have to cut down on their mistakes. We saw them make some mistakes against Liberal. They made some mistakes against some other teams in the season, early in the season. They were able to overcome that because they were a better football team. We talked about what might happen when Dodge City ran into a team that was as good as they are, and that's what's happened tonight. They ran into a good Derby team. They've given them too many opportunities, and that bad snap on the punt comes back to haunt them. 40-yard drive for Derby. Took them 2 minutes and 57 seconds and 6 plays to get on the scoreboard first.
Coming into this game, Dodge City had fumbled the ball 21 times on the season, losing 14 of those. We've seen them lay it on the turf a couple times tonight. They're going to have to take care of the ball if they want to beat the Derby Panthers here in Derby.
Well, that's got to be about the last mistake they make, because now they're already in a hole.
Chris DeVore will do the kicking duties. Dodge City with 3 men back to receive. DeVore's kick, kind of a squib kick, and it is taken at the 15-yard line by Ronnie Freese. Freese up the middle. Freese with a nice lane out to about the 39-yard line. Good field position for the Dodge City Red Demons.
Good return that time by Ronnie Freese. He had a lane right up the middle of the field, and he just took it and runs it all the way back. Dodge City's in good field position now to start. Now, they've had some good field position a couple of times earlier tonight, couldn't take advantage of it, and now's the time they've got to do it. With less than 5 minutes to go in the half, they need to take advantage of this and get something on the scoreboard.
Brian Goolsby has been running the ball well this evening. The offensive line has done a good job pushing him off the ball. Here comes Andy Smith to the near side. Smith breaking a tackle, gets out to the 45, gain of about 6 on the play.
And that's about as effective a run as Andy's been able to get tonight. As they've been watching for that play when he tries to cut outside, they've been pursuing him very, very well. That time, David Russell, number 45, 5'11", 196-pound senior, one of the players leading the group getting over there for the Derby Panthers. But a good first down play. This gives you a lot of options now on second down.
Get the ball over the line. Counting down to the 4-minute mark before the half. Fake handoff to Smith. Cahoon's going to take it. He had 1 man to beat, and he couldn't do it. Good job of form tackling by Tyson Malik, or else Ty Cahoon was off to the races.
Malik just waited for him to get there and then made the stop on him, but a good play that time. Cahoon just faked the handoff and then took it himself. Good run.
And it's good enough for the first down. Take a look at it on the replay as Ty Cahoon, one of their favorite plays, fake to the running back and have Cahoon go on the quarterback draw.
And you can see the Panthers over-pursuing. There were 4 or 5 green jerseys in the backfield. They were over-pursuing that time. That's what made that play work.
Good open field tackle by Malik. Here's the handoff to Goolsby. He's stuck, and then he bounces off a man, spins away, goes for about 12 yards. Another first down for the Dodge City Red Demons.
And number 21, Tyler Malik, all 166 pounds of him, hanging on to Brian Goolsby to finally drag him down. This is the beauty of Brian Goolsby. He just will not give up on the first hit. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and he keeps on going. Both Malik. Every Malik in the stadium trying to bring him down.
Inside 3.5 now, Dodge City moving once again. Andy Smith off the right side. Was looking for a place to cut it up. It was never there. Josh Riedel was out there to shut down the play.
Tyler Malik over there as well for the Derby Panthers. I was going to say he's all over the field, but it helps that there's more than one of them, I guess.
Loss of about half a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and long for Dodge City as we venture inside the 3-minute mark here in the ballgame. Or in the first half, rather.
Well, this is a good drive that Dodge City needs to sustain right now. They've got time to keep it on the ground right now and do what they do best. Just pound it at them.
The Derby faithful trying to get their defense to come up with a stand. Here comes Goolsby. We've got flags down. Goolsby off the left-hand side, down inside the 35-yard line, close to the 33. Let's check the penalty flag.
Well, I didn't see any motion on the line. There could have been. The flag was thrown as the ball was snapped, so I wonder if somebody from Derby was in the neutral zone.
We'll get the official word.
Motion. I'll wait.
It will go against Dodge City. Another critical mistake on a big drive.
Well, that's the two things we've talked about the Red Demons doing early in the year that were going to cause them problems in the playoffs. Turnovers and penalties. Now, there's the offensive line surging just a little bit, maybe.
And they'll march off 5 and do it all again. It will be 2nd and 16 at the 45-yard line of the Derby Panthers. 2:33 to go before the half.
Well, Dodge City has a kind of running game, and they've got the ability to pass when they need to. They can make up this yardage in a hurry.
Tight formation for the Red Demons. Cahoon with the play-action pass. He'll roll to his right. The ball is tipped up in the air and falls harmlessly to the turf, but boy, that could have been a big play because if Malik comes up with that one, he's got a wall of blockers ahead of him.
Well, the ball was batted, I think, by a Derby player, and then Gwaltney got a hand on it, and it just soared into the air, but nobody was able to come down with it. That time, the pass play just wasn't there for them, and now they've got a 3rd and long situation.
2:15 to go. Some confusion in the Dodge City huddle as players shuttling in and out right before the snap. Ronnie Freese will check out. Chet Schmidt comes in. And we'll get a timeout by the Dodge City Red Demons. They didn't have time to get that play off. They had to call that one.
Yeah, they were very confused, as you said, in the huddle, mixing players in and out, trying to decide what it is they want to do. Now they've got time to just stop and think about it. Dick Masters comes out. He's going to talk to his team, and now they've got to decide how they're going to do something. They really need to get an offensive strike here. They need to put some points on the board because they're down 7-0, and Dodge City's a grinded-out power team. This is not a quick strike offense unless they can break a big running play. And Derby has snuffed them pretty well on the pass. They've covered the couple of pass plays that Dodge City has tried, and they've put good pressure on Ty Cahoon back there as well.
2:15 to go before the half. 7-0, Derby leads after a critical Dodge City turnover inside the red zone.
You know, in our society, winning has come to mean everything. However, if winning comes at the expense of good sportsmanship, everyone is a loser. Good sportsmanship is the result of a disciplined effort to respect yourself, your opponents, and game officials. Remember, good sports are winners. A public service message from your Kansas State High School Activities Association.
I thought you were making that up. 2:15 to go. Big play for the Dodge City Red Demons. This crowd comes to its feet. Cahoon's got time. He's looking deep over the middle. He's got Schmidt. Can't hold on. Boy, Chet Schmidt was back there all alone. He got twisted around a little bit, but he had Nathan Phillips beat.
Just turned around the wrong way. Schmidt held up a little bit. You probably won't see it on this replay, but he held up a little bit, not sure the pass was going to get there. Then he realized it was strong enough, and so he tried to pick it back up, and he just turned the wrong way and couldn't get turned around in time. Got a hand on it, but not quite enough to pull that one in. But had he been able to make a smooth catch of that one, he was gone for 6.
2:09 to go now. Dodge City facing 4th and long.
Well, let's see if the Red Demons decide to go ahead and go for it late in the half. It would put them in a dangerous position if they don't get it.
Sure would. They're going to go for it.
Derby will only have 55 yards to go if they stop Dodge City here.
Now we've got a timeout once again. The officials stopping play. And Dodge City calls timeout. I think maybe they were going to see if they could catch Derby with men back to receive the punt. And now you'll probably see them kick it away.
Well, it's been an interesting first half so far. We've seen both teams trying to punch it up the middle. We've seen a couple of pass plays. Dodge City with good defensive effort tonight, but they've hurt themselves with mistakes. Both teams have had turnovers, but Dodge City's have proved to be the costly ones. A bad snap, setting up Derby with a 40-yard field on which they were able to score in 6 plays to go up in this one 7-0. We talked about maybe it would be more of an offensive game this year, but the defenses have made that untrue so far.
Interesting call here by Masters. I think you'll see him punt this one away, don't you?
I think so. It would be nice to go in and get some points, but if you miss on a 4th down play here, Derby's got half the field to go, and they're fired up right now. You risk giving them too much momentum, I think.
Of course, another thing to think about is the last punt snap went over the punter's head.
That's true. And I think he'll go for it.
I think you're right. The Demons indeed lining up to go for it. We've got flags. That's going to be a motion penalty against Dodge City. And now we've got 2 flags. You're going to get a motion penalty and an ineligible receiver.
One of the
He
other.
threw it right to a lineman.
Yeah.
I believe that was Troy Thomas that caught it.
And I don't think he wanted it.
Maybe it wasn't Thomas. Could have been Brady Paulington.
Or
doesn't matter. It was somebody that wasn't supposed to touch it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the most yellow we've seen on the field at one time tonight.
Man, everybody lost their laundry.
Yeah. It's going to take a while to get all those flags picked up, I think.
And figure out whose is whose.
You think they have personal ones?
Monogrammed, I don't know. 2:04 to go. Interesting call here. We'll let the officials explain it, I believe. The ineligible receiver would be loss of down.
Well, the motion penalty would be...
Well, we've got holding.
Yeah.
Motion. Ineligible receiver.
Anything else?
Boy, when they get done with this, and Dodge City's going to be inside their own 5.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to get penalties, get them all at once.
There you go.
Because they can only enforce one.
You get it out of your system, I guess.
Well, this hold could be spotted a foul from behind the line, and that could hurt.
Yeah.
Then you're pretty much assured of having to punt. Still 4th down.
So what do we end up with here? About 4th and Newton or something?
Yeah. Well, or at least Kellogg. Well, now, if they don't take it, it would be their ball. If they do take it, they back Dodge City up a ways. Dodge City, or Derby's going to take the ball, it looks like.
Take the ball.
Pass here, loss of down, first down.
It is a loss of down. So they'll mark off 5. Derby takes over. They get the best of both worlds.
Boy, this really hurts right now. Now the Red Demons really have to play some tough defense. But Derby's got 2 minutes in which to work with a short field, and they could go up by 2 scores here. And the way they played defense in the first half, that's going to really hurt Dodge City.
Worst possible scenario for head coach Dick Masters just happened. Well, let's see if Derby will go to the air. They got 2:04. They've got plenty of time. Barry Galbraith wants to throw. Good pressure by the Demons, and they sack him. Brian Goolsby on a bull rush, along with Bruce Redenbaugh.
Redenbaugh and Goolsby getting back there together, and they just kept the pressure on him. Galbraith just waited too long. He had some time.
This is a bull rush.
He had good coverage in the secondary. Galbraith was looking for somebody to throw to. He's waiting, and there's the pressure right there. They just pushed the Derby Panthers right back into the quarterback. Redenbaugh and Goolsby there to make the play. And that's something Dodge City desperately needed.
That will help things out. 1.5 minutes to go before the halftime break. And here comes Warman once again. Boy, they haven't stopped him yet tonight. Good gain of about 9, but they'll give up that rather than the long pass.
That play has worked very effectively for the Derby Panthers so far tonight. Let's take a look at it on the replay.
So it's a little trap play up the middle. They just pull the guards, and There he is.
He's got a good hole to work with that time. Goolsby slows him down, and then Cahoon gets in there and some other help as well.
Inside of a minute now. The Panthers come to the line, 3rd and long. See how many people the Demons bring this time. Not really showing blitz. Everybody drops back into pass coverage. There's the pass out close to the first down. They'll run the clock. He's going to be about a yard short, but a nice throw and catch by Barry Galbraith, the quarterback, to Aaron Severin.
And they're going to call timeout to give themselves time to set something up here. Let's take a look at the replay. Just drops it right in there. They've been successful on a couple of passes. He throws them in low, just where the receiver can get to it. Can't get any extra yardage out of it, but the receiver's the only guy that's going to make a catch like that.
Of the completions we've seen tonight from Galbraith, that's been the case. They've all been low right off the turf.
The ones he's put up in the air have been picked off.
Off, exactly.
Well, Derby's in a situation now. They've got a 4th down, very, very short, but they've only got 28 seconds to go. So if they just go for the first down, then they've got to hurry to try to get some plays off to get in the end zone. So they may just want to go for something here, even on 4th down. See if they can't put it in the end zone right away.
28.2 to go. Dodge City needs a defensive stand right here. If they can come out of here with the ball, they can run out the clock, go in by just by a touchdown. You got to watch for the long count here. Galbraith. Oh, and they had an end move. The end moves Josh Riedel for the Derby Panthers.
He just anticipated the snap count and jumped a little too soon, I think.
.3 to go. Let's take a look at it.
Upstairs. They need to reset it.
There you see Riedel. He was standing and ready to block before the ball was ever snapped.
And they'll move them back 5, so that changes things a little. Now Dodge City doesn't have to stop them at the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to have to reset the clock.
Yeah, that should have been a dead ball foul, so they should reset the clock.
About 3 seconds should go back on the clock.
It was at 28.2. Now it shows 26.3.
I got to tell you, these Derby fans are about the most impatient I've ever heard. Oh, they don't boo anybody.
That's right. Even their own scorekeeper, they don't want to wait for anybody. Well, see, they're impatient. They want to get back to the championship game and try to take on Lawrence again if they get the shot. They can't wait.
What a game that was last year. We had a chance to see it after the Liberal game, and Derby really had that game in hand at halftime.
Oh, they played such a great first half last year against Lawrence. They looked like a sure thing to dethrone the Lions. And Lawrence High somehow finds ways to win, and they did last year.
Last year is a 70-yard run by quarterback Brad Romey. Now we've got 28 minutes and 2 seconds. There we go. 28 seconds, 2:10. And now we'll get things underway. And 4th and 5, close to 4th and 6 for the Panthers.
See if Derby loosens it up a little bit more than they might have now that they've got a little longer distance.
And here come the Demons. Showing blitz. Here comes the blitz. The handoff up the middle. Werman gets the first down at the 30-yard line. They'll call timeout. 23.5 to go.
Good call that time. The Red Demons were bringing a host of people to get into the backfield expecting the pass. They just gave to Werman right up the middle, and he made it count.
Watch as Goolsby goes darting right by the ball carrier. Smith also on the other side. Both were coming on the blitz, and they ran right by the fullback, Shelby Werman. Good call by Tom Young. 23.5 to go now. Galbraith will roll to the near side. He wants it all. He's going deep. Chet Schmidt back there again, and he was the closest one to the ball.
I was going to say Chet was more open than anybody else back there that time. He was looking for Aaron Severin, just overthrew him by a long way, and he's lucky Schmidt didn't get over there and make the interception.
14 seconds. I'm a little surprised Derby isn't trying to hit the short route and get set up for a field goal at least. They're Kicker Chris DeVore has hit from 32 twice this season. No timeouts left for the Derby Panthers. Malik will go in motion. Long count by Galbraith. Flag down on the play. Galbraith rolling to the near side. He lofts one towards the end zone again, and it is batted down to the turf.
There was one Panther and 3 Red Demons down there, and they were able to knock that one away. Brandenburg was back there, among others.
Illegal shift on the play by the Derby Panthers. Usually means 2 guys were moving at the same time.
Here's the pass. He just throws it into a crowd.
No, he went under. Okay, we have an illegal shift. You have the option of either declining the penalty and making it 3rd down here, going 5 yards back and replaying 2nd down. You'll replay 2nd down. Good job.
Indeed it was.
Is that like approval? Does the official do that often? You know, say, hey, good call, guys.
Nice editorial comment by the official this evening. Illegal shift. They'll move it back 5 from the 35-yard line.
Now, if they had said no, we'll decline the penalty, would he have said, shucks, fellas? There's the play again on the pass, and he's lucky he didn't get that picked off.
Now, Galbraith, when he's gone deep this evening, has really hung the ball up. And Dodge City's made him pay a couple of times. 6.9 seconds here, and here comes Goolsby on the blitz. There's the pass deep. The man is open, and it is batted away. Boy, good recovery that time by Jason Brandenburg, but that time Aaron Severin was behind him.
Severin had him beat by 2 or 3 steps, but again, Galbraith is hanging that ball up in the air. He's giving the defense time to recover when they're beating on the coverage, and he did again this time. And that time Brandenburg got back, and he was able to knock it away. There's just enough time. That ball's up there a long time, and Brandenburg was able to make up the distance.
And speaking of just enough time, 0.6 of a second to go. They'll have one more crack at the end zone, will the Derby Panthers. Coming into the lineup for the Panthers will be Tyler Malik. Tyler Malik caught a 42-yard touchdown pass against Hayesville Campus earlier this season, and a 26-yard touchdown in that thriller versus Wichita West. Tyson Malik in motion. Galbraith drops back. He wants to go deep. He looks over the middle, gets it to Tyson Malik. He is hit. The ball's jarred free. Who's got it? It doesn't matter. As time runs out, it's short of the end zone. Dodge City will come up with it, and halftime is here. Our score as we go to the halftime break, the Derby Panthers 7, the Dodge City Red Demons nothing. You're watching the Kansas State semifinals in 6A on KUPK Channel 13. We'll be back after this. Stadium in Derby, Kansas, where at halftime it's the Derby Panthers 7, the Dodge City Red Demons nothing. Right now the crowd being entertained by the bands of both schools. Well, actually, it's just the Dodge City band out there right now. And let's take a look at the Dodge City Pride of Southwest Kansas marching band.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. Straight.
Score, the Derby Panthers 7, the Dodge City Red Demons nothing. We'll take another break and return with the Derby Panther Band. You won't want to miss it. They are something to watch. We'll be back with more right after this. And welcome back to Panther Stadium on the campus of Derby High School, where the pride of Pantherland, the Derby Panther Marching Band, has taken the field. And from what I've heard, they are something to watch. They will be taking part in the Citrus Bowl parade this year. So let's take a look at the pride of Pantherland, the Derby Panther Marching Band. That's the Pride of Pantherland Derby Panther Marching Band. We'll be back with some halftime stats and take a look at some first half highlights right after this. You're watching high school football on KUPK, Channel 13. And welcome back to Panther Stadium on the campus of Derby High School, where it's become the battle of the bands. Both bands doing Give Me Some Lovin', the old Sam and Dave tune, and here to give me some stats is Kirk Hutchinson.
Well, let's take a look at how things are going tonight for these two teams. It's been a story of defense and mistakes so far. Dodge City, 77 total yards, all of it on the ground, nothing through the air with the passing. Meanwhile, Derby rather balanced, 48 yards rushing, 49 yards passing for 97 yards total offense. Dodge City with a pair of turnovers, Derby with 3 turnovers, Dodge City with 5 first downs, so the Derby Panthers 3 first downs. As I said, defense and mistakes. The bad snap on a punt, setting up that 40-yard drive for Derby, and the easy touchdown for them.
And we'll take another break and come back, take a look at some first half highlights right after this. You're watching Dodge City versus Derby on KUPK, Channel 13. And welcome back to Panther Stadium. Right now the score stands 7-0. We're at halftime, and let's take a look at the difference in the ball game right now. As Derby had the ball via a fumble, a Dodge City fumble inside the red zone from about 4 yards out. Here's Tyson Malik. Some question as to whether he broke the plane in the end zone here. You can see he stretches out right at the end. And boy, it's close. The referees called it a touchdown. The extra point's good, and that's how we stand. 7-0 at the half. Dodge City trailing Derby. We'll be back with more right after this. Both teams back on the field during the warm-up period right now, and we've got a couple scores to pass along to you. First of all, Kirk, Lawrence and Olathe East tied at 7.
Kind of game we kind of expected. A good, tough game. It's going to go down to the wire, much like this one, I would imagine.
One that won't. Liberal 44, Salina South nothing at the half. Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, right.
Salina South 6-4 going into that game. They didn't stand much of a chance, and Liberals not giving it to them. We'll take another break and return with second half action. It's Derby versus Dodge City. Our score here, Derby 7, Dodge City nothing. We'll be back with more on KUPK right after this. And welcome back. We got about a minute and a half before play starts here in the second half. Kirk, while we have the break, why don't you give us another announcement from the Activities Association?
Well, you know, the folks at the Kansas State High School Activities Association make it possible for all of us to enjoy these playoff games. And remember that a ticket is a privilege to observe a contest and support high school athletics, not a license to verbally assault others. There's no place in interscholastic athletics for name-calling or the use of profanity. Sportsmanship is the #1 priority at the high school level, so be a sport the next time you watch a game. A public service message from your Kansas State High School Activities Association.
And the Dodge City Red Demons would like to come out and crack the scoreboard right off the bat here in the second half. They should receive the kickoff as they kicked off to start the game, but they really need to put a score up here early.
They sure do. You know, in a lot of ways, this game has resembled last year's game, a defensive struggle and determined by mistakes. Dodge City struggling to move the ball offensively. When they have moved it, they've hurt themselves with either penalties or some turnovers, and they've not been able to take advantage of good field position when they've had it, much like last year. So the key for them is to get their offense untracked. Their defense has done a solid job. They gave up the touchdown when Derby had that short field to work with, only 40 yards to go, but they made a couple of other stands when Derby was getting the ball even closer to the goal line because of turnovers. So they've done a good job defensively. They've got to figure out a way to crack this Panther defense and get their offense in the end zone.
And a lot of people thought this was going to be a high-scoring shootout coming into this game, and really hasn't been that at all. It's a 7-0 ball game right now, and both teams have kind of shot themselves in the foot at times, as you mentioned, and Dodge City really has done it at some critical spots. Well, we're getting set to go here in the second half as the Derby Panthers lead this one 7-0. Dodge City Red Demons, you may remember, lost this game 13-6 last year. It was actually at the regional level. And you can see the fans are getting psyched up, ready to go. Been an exciting first half of action, a lot of hard hitting, and some big plays.
Hey, we want to take time while we've got it to pay special thanks to the Administrative and Athletic Department of Dodge City and Derby High Schools for their assistance in making tonight's telecast possible. Also to Mr. Wayne Marshall and the maintenance staff of USD 260 for their technical assistance in getting it all set up. And it takes a lot to get all the cables strung and everything set up to bring these ball games to you. So we appreciate the help of everybody here at Derby High School to help us get that done.
And the athletic directors of both schools, very helpful. As you mentioned, J.C. Rickenberg just does an excellent job at Dodge City High School. Always has a ton of information on hand and is willing to give it to you. And that really makes our job a lot easier, so hats off to J.C.
And we do appreciate it. They've always got stuff available for us, and it makes it really easy to do these games sometimes, and you got people taking care of you like that.
And Alana Ferris, also the AD here at Derby, had a challenge this week with all the media coming in for this game, trying to find a place to put everybody, and she's done a wonderful job with that. We're getting set to go here in the second half as the Derby Panthers will be kicking off to the Dodge City Red Demons.
Well, Dodge City got a chance to start in the first half, put their defense on the field, show what they could do defensively. Now they've got to turn around and show what they can do offensively. They moved the ball, got some yardage on the ground in the first half, but now they need to put together a good, strong drive and put something on the board.
And we have been notified of one number change. The number 45 isn't Jeff Dalton for Dodge City. It's Wes Ontiveros. So if you're wondering where Wes has been tonight, he's been where Jeff Dalton is.
He's been where he was supposed to be. He just wasn't wearing the jersey I was looking for.
Chris DeVore will kick it off. We've got 24 minutes of football to play. Derby leading 7-0. DeVore's kickoff high and deep. Boy, it's a good one. Taken by Ronnie Freese at the 10. Out to the 20. Good pursuit by Derby. They run him down at the 25, and here come flags in late. That could be a face mask.
That flag flew about 30 yards. That was a good throw by the official that time. He wanted no doubt about where that flag was headed. And you may be right. We'll see if we get a foul against Derby here.
Flipping.
White. Boy, once again, a critical mistake by Dodge City as they have good starting field position at the 25. Now it'll be back to the 12.5.
Let's take a look on the replay, see if we can pick up the clip. It happened near the end of the play because that's when the flag came flying in. And there's a good, strong kickoff, and Ronnie Freese takes it at about his 10-yard line. And trying to look for something to his left. Let's see if we can find where the clip is in here.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right on the backside is on the left-hand side of your screen, and that's the side it came in from. Couldn't see who did it. But nonetheless, Dodge City will start in a hole. Here's a good guy to get you out of that hole, Brian Goolsby, as he gets them up to around the 22, 23-yard line. Good power running once again.
Well, this is the time for them to go back to what they do best, and that's just power at people. And here's Goolsby coming right at you.
How'd you like to see that? Nice shot.
And coming right at Malik and company as well. Good, strong run, and good first down play. Gives them second and short.
Well, talking to Liberal head coach Gary Cornelson, he said the way to stop Goolsby is to tackle him low. That's exactly what Malik did. This time they gang tackle him. Whole bunch of Panthers in on the play, and Goolsby will be pushed back. Derby has come out fired up.
Well, we talked about the importance of the offensive line for Dodge City at the beginning of the telecast, and they've been pushing people off the ball all season long, opening up holes for those running backs, and they need to do that here in the second half. They were able to do that occasionally in the first half, but a lot of those holes were not there, and there sure wasn't one that time.
Loss of one on the play, 3rd and 1. Important first down here for Dodge City. They give it up the middle. Once again, Goolsby just gang tackled. They are committing everybody on that defense to Brian Goolsby right now.
Well, they were all there, a whole host of Derby Panthers jumping into the middle of that play. There were 4 or 5 green jerseys just waiting for him that time, and there just was no running room for Goolsby at all. Let's take a look at the replay on this one. Goolsby in the backfield. He'll get the handoff, and here they come. They're all right there together. And he tries to bounce off, but he just can't find any room at all. No place to go.
Good job by the front line of Derby to get past the blocks of the offensive line of Dodge City.
And Shelby Werman, who's played very well on offense, a couple of big carries, was the big guy on the hit that time against Brian Goolsby. He's played a good game.
10 men on the line of scrimmage. Now they'll drop a couple back. Here's the punt. It's a low line drive, spinning end over end, takes a Dodge City bounce. It's going to roll to about the 40-yard line, but great field position for the Derby Panthers to start this second half.
Well, it sure is, and it's going to put the pressure once again on the Dodge City defense to slow them down and get the ball back.
10:31 to go. We'll take a break and come back. Our score, Derby 7, Dodge City nothing. 10:27 to go here in the third quarter. Derby leading 7-0. They've got the ball.
And not how Dodge City wanted to start the second half, 3 and outs, and now Derby's got 60 yards to go.
39-yard line is the actual spot of the ball, so Barry Galbraith will start business there. Tyson Malik spinning through the middle, and he gets his way forward for about 4 yards. Nice run by Malik.
And the Derby offensive line has been able to open just enough of a crack in that defense to let Malik and Werman squeeze through there several times tonight. Here's the replay, and there's a lot of red jerseys in there. Just enough of a hole to slide through there. So good trap blocking that Derby uses up front. They really opened just a big enough crack to get those running backs through.
Inside 10 minutes now, as Derby, on their initial drive of the second half, has a 2nd and 6. Handoff up the middle, Werman. They haven't stopped him yet. They don't stop him here. He gets about 3 or 4. Well, pretty good surge by Dodge City. They held him to about 3. Not a bad play by the defense.
Well, Brian Goolsby wrapped him up and just wouldn't let go of him. Had him in a big bear hug, and then Ty Cahoon came over to help finish him off. But a good play by Goolsby that time to meet him, stand him up, and then just wrestle him to the turf.
Call it a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 4. And the Panthers have gone to the air in this situation just about every time except for the last drive of the half where they went on the draw play. Galbraith will hand it to Malik. Malik snowed under in the backfield as it was Goolsby shooting through there along with Wes Ontiveros.
Good penetration that time. Also back there, Brady Pollington and Shane Webb also in the backfield. And Bruce Redenbaugh mixing it up as well. They were all there to say hello and snuff that play out quickly.
Well, that was a great job of doing what the coaches tell you right there, because they pulled the 2 linemen from the right side, and the defensive linemen stayed right in their hip pocket, because you know when those big guys are going that way, that's where the ball's going. Derby will punt the ball as they go 3 downs and out. Here comes a good rush by Dodge City, but a nice punt. And Chet Schmidt takes it. He's dancing. We got a clip as it goes to the left side. I believe that was Ronnie Freese. Caught the man right in the middle of the back, out in front of everybody.
And we got a second flag thrown toward the end of it, too, after the first one went down. So we may have seen something from the other side of the field as well.
Okay. Well, if you're going to get them all at once.
That's it.
Let's let the officials sort it out.
Flipping, white.
Just the one clipping call.
Guess that'll take
or
care
maybe
of it.
2, but they'll take the longer one.
That'll take care of it.
Boy, once again, Dodge City would have had the ball up near the 25, and they're going to be back inside the 15-yard line starting out again.
Well, they're just not giving themselves any room to work with because of these penalties on these returns. And we talked about it earlier. Penalties have plagued them throughout the season, but they've been in situations in the ball games where they weren't going to be critical. And they're not in that situation right now. Now penalties are really costly.
8:21 to go here in the 3rd. Goolsby came out, got about 10 yards on his first carry of the half, and then was stacked up. Here comes the inside handoff to Freese. Freese snowed under. They remember that play. Yeah. He's taken down back to the 7-yard line. That's the play that really burned some people, and Derby has done their homework against Dodge City.
They sure have. Tyler Malik and also Shelby Werman getting over there to make the stop. Let's see if we can take a look at it on the replay here. From the ground, and trying to make that quick little inside handoff. Nowhere to go, so he tries to take it outside, and there's Malik and there's Werman. They're not letting him get anywhere.
Werman clogged that hole well, stayed at home, and he was not fooled. Here comes Goolsby. Goolsby up the sideline. Goolsby's got some room. Goolsby, shoestring tackle, or it was off to the races. Brian Goolsby with a first down, but oh boy, did he come close to breaking that one.
And it was Tyson Malik who made the save that time, just reaching out and slapping at his feet, making that shoestring tackle to save a bigger gain from Brian Goolsby. Let's take a look at it on the replay. Goolsby's got some room, breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then slides outside, and he's got some running room up the sideline. Here comes Malik, just swiping at the feet to pull him down.
Dodge City with a first down now, inside the 7.5-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Goolsby off the left-hand side. Once again, we have flags going everywhere. As there's a gain of about 3 for Goolsby, but you figure this to be a hold where that flag's laying.
And they sure are talking to the Panthers on it right now. Let's take a look at the replay again from the ground camera.
It is indeed a hold. We'll see if we can pick it up on the replay. I couldn't tell who did the holding, but once again, Derby doing a good job of swarming to the ball.
May have been whoever was blocking on number 49, Aaron Robbins. Looked like he had a hold of him on the shoulder pads and everywhere else and trying to push him off. So that may have been what they saw.
So they'll mark off yet another penalty against Dodge City.
Holding, White, still first down.
First down and 20 yards to go. And not the position the Red Demons like to be in. They'd rather grind it out, as you've said. And now they're kind of in a passing situation. Let's take another look at it.
Let's see if we can see where it happens over there.
I couldn't really tell.
Hard to tell from that angle, but
lots of bodies flying.
Yeah. The official saw all he needed to, so.
Dodge City overloaded to the left-hand side, and they'll go that way. Goolsby bouncing like a pinball once again. He gets about 3 or 4 yards. To give Derby credit, they are just finding Goolsby and swarming him.
Well, they really had Derby thrown off for just a second there, trying to shift their defense to account for that formation that they were using. But it wasn't enough to make a difference because they just all keyed on Goolsby as soon as he got the ball. And they were able to swarm on him that time to bring him down.
6.5 minutes to go in the third. Kevin Gwaltney, the tight end, comes to the near side. They have 2 men in a short slot. Goolsby, no, it's not handed off. It's Cahoon is snowed under in the backfield. Well, Dick Masters is going to his bag of tricks, and he's coming up empty.
He sure is. Josh Riedel and Jeff Raylander back there for the Derby Panthers. And that defense for Derby has been outstanding, and it's getting even tougher as the night wears on. Let's take a look at the replay. Cahoon trying to find something. He's chased there to begin with.
Justin Williams
is back there, and Jeff Raylander getting back there to help finish him off.
And Dodge City coming to the line. Third down, 17 yards to go. They need a big play here. Cahoon rolls out. He's being pressured and sacked. He's dropped all the way back inside the 20-yard line. Josh Riedel was the man who made the hit. He may be back near the 15.
Josh Riedel just shot through there. Almost nobody laying a hand on him, I think, that time. And Ty Cahoon had no chance at all. And this is a fired-up Derby Panther team right now. Their defense is everywhere. Seems like anything Dick Masters tries to call for his team, Derby already knows what's coming.
Once again, it'll be Kevin Gwaltney coming in to punt. Gwaltney with a 32-yard average on the season. He's had some problems tonight. Now, once again, the referees blow play dead. And let's see what the call is. Well, another penalty against Dodge City. Boy, they just keep adding up.
Well, it's just going from bad to worse right now for the Red Demons. And you really hope that they would come out of the locker room kind of regrouped and ready to go back at it because they were playing well in the first quarter. And you really thought they'd come back out and maybe make something happen in the second half. But so far, it's been all backwards for the Red Demons.
To give you an idea of how big a hole they're in right now, Gwaltney standing in the end zone. Tyson Malik standing at the Dodge City 45. A high snap. Here's the kick. Almost blocked. Gets away a fairly decent punt. Did it hit a Derby player?
It may have hit a Panther.
The ball's loose. Dodge City says they have it.
Well,
the officials say... Oh, and now we've got flags. Oh, boy.
Because the Red Demons disagreed with that. They were sure it hit a Panther player, and that would have made it their ball. And they're going to argue about it. They probably got a personal foul called.
Let's take a look at it, Kirk, and see if we can sort out what happened on this play. As there's Malik going over towards the ball, and you see everybody scrambling for it.
If it hit anybody, it would have been David Russell that it hit.
And now we've got some Demons saying they're going to get the ball.
And they're still trying to sort it out.
Couldn't really tell if it. We're going to take a break and get this sorted out. We'll be back. 4:39 to go. Derby 7, Dodge City nothing.
Yes.
Dodge City will indeed take over. They've waved off the penalty. Demons ball, 1st and 10. Now Cahoon with a straight handoff up the middle to Goolsby, and boy, he's just not getting anything right now.
No, the offensive line for the Red Demons just not able to open up the holes at all here in the second half. Great defensive effort out front. We've mentioned them before for Derby, but you've got number 75, Ross Graney, a 230-pound senior. You've got number 62, Justin Williams, a 221-pound junior. You've got Josh Riedel, a 203-pound senior, and you've got Aaron Robbins, a 207-pound junior. That's some big guys.
We're at the 4-minute mark. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ty Cahoon calling the signal. Fakes the pitch. Now he's going to roll. He's running for his life. Lobs the pass. And nobody out there. Well, Gwaltney was there, but he was well overthrown. But Cahoon just trying to get rid of that pass.
Well, Derby Panthers have great speed on defense, and they've shown it a couple of times tonight, and they showed it again here as they go right after Cahoon, and he really had no chance to get set up. There's Josh Riedel just chasing him down, and you got 200 pounds coming at you that fast. That'll get your attention.
3rd and about 8 for the Demons. Taking their time in the huddle. They're going to have to hurry just to get this play off.
This is watching his clock.
Boy, this is a big play here. Hand off to Cahoon. Pitches. Smith drops the ball. Derby picks it up. That's Tyler Malik. Down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Derby with another big break going their way as Andy Smith cannot hold on to the pitch. Oh, woe is me for Dodge City.
And it was a high pitch that time from Ty Cahoon, and Smith never got a hold of it, never had a chance. Let's take a look at the replay. He batted at it, was about all he did. Ty trying to get outside now. He's got the pitch man, and he just pitches it a little off kilter, and Andy Smith can't handle the pitch. And Tyler Malik over there very quickly to scoop it up, and another big break for the Derby Panthers.
Little 3:39 to go. Derby really could put a lot of distance between themselves and the Dodge City Red Demons if they could shove it in the end zone right here. Barry Galbraith under center. He's got an I formation. A wide out to the right-hand side. There's Tyson Malik right up the middle through the center of the defense. Touchdown. A 5-yard run by Tyson Malik. And Derby is up 13-0 with an extra point to come.
Well, the offensive line for the Panthers has been doing a solid job of opening up enough of a hole to allow their runners to pick up a few yards at a time. That time they only had 5 yards to get, and it was a first down. They just surged right at them. And we talk about the breaks, but Derby's making their own breaks. Good pressure on defense that time, forced the mistake, and Dodge City paid for it.
The extra point is up, and it is hooking. No good. Well, that may breathe a little life into Dick Masters Ball Club, but they trail right now with 3:23 to go in the third quarter. The score, Derby 13, Dodge City nothing. Interesting, Kirk, right now, Dodge City was moving the ball almost at will in the first half, and now they've been shut down all of a sudden.
Well, they've not been able to get their offense on track since about the midway or late point of the second quarter, and at all here in the third quarter. They were only able to get to the 30-yard line because of a break on that punt, and they couldn't do anything with it, and then they hurt themselves on the pitch. Here's the touchdown run, and they give to Malik right up the gut, and look at the blocking, and he
great running.
Good, strong running. 3 Red Demons met him there before he got to the goal line, and he just ran through him.
Gangrene defense indeed. Derby has been playing a ton here in the second half. They are now just 15 minutes and 23 seconds from their second state title game in as many years. DeVore's kickoff, it's high and a little bit short. Chet Schmidt will take it. He's out of the 20 to the 30. And now he is stacked up right at the 30. Driven back They'll probably give him the 29-yard line. So not bad field position for Dodge City to start out with.
Not bad at all, but good coverage for Derby off of a relatively short kick, and they got down there in a hurry, and we talked about that. One thing that Derby does very, very well, obviously, is pursue the ball wherever it is. They've got some good speed, they've got some good size, and they really get after it.
Well, Dick Masters needs to come up with something here. Down by 13, 3 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the third. And here comes the reverse. Stacked up is Priest. He's going nowhere, and Derby really playing the containment well.
Well, they saw that one coming, and they were staying home. 2-3 Derby Panthers just waiting back there. Tyler Malik looked like one of them. Let's take a look at the replay. Just holding their position, waiting for
Josh
that play.
Riedel right on the
Riedel,
outside.
and there's Malik. He's just waiting, and he bounces off of the block. Riedel makes the first hit. Malik gets over to help out.
Second and 9 for the Red Demons. Once again, with the short slot, 2 men filling the slot. Here's the pitch to Goolsby, and Derby really manhandling the Demons. I don't know what adjustments Tom Young made at halftime, but they're certainly working.
Well, they're being very aggressive here in the second half. They're not waiting for the play to develop. They're just striking. They're looking for specifics out there, and they're finding what they want to see. They seem to really read the Red Demon offense very, very well. They know where they need to go to get to the ball.
Dodge City really needs a big play right now. Every time they've gone on a drive, something's happened. Either they've gotten penalties or they've fumbled. Cahoon stumbling. Now he's looking deep, dancing around. Gwaltney can't come up with it. Fourth down, Dodge City's going to have to punt once again.
And good coverage over there on the pass by Tyson Malik. He was over there with Gwaltney, got his hands on the ball as well. Let's take a look at the replay.
You think Cahoon's not gun shy? Look at the happy feet he gets back here.
Stumbled with the football, and he finally puts it up, but not a very strong pass. And Malik had as good a shot at that as Gwaltney did.
Minute 58 to go in the third quarter. Dodge City, this is a bad time to go 3 and out. Here's the snap to Gwaltney. The kick is blocked. The kick is blocked. Derby has it right at the line of scrimmage, and they're driven out of bounds with Jeff Raylander. And once again, Derby coming up big when they need to.
And it looked like Troy Glazer was at least one of the players back there that may have gotten a hand on it and helped block that. But they've been putting good pressure on Gwaltney all night long on the punt. And that time they made good on it, getting back there to block it.
Glazer just coming from the outside as he's been all night. Well, minute 47 to go. Derby could really salt this one away, possibly, with another score.
Well, a couple of great efforts on defense by them here. The last 2 times Dodge City's had the ball, it's put Derby in position to really run it up right now.
Now the Demons defense really needs to come up big, and there's Tyson Malik right up the middle. Looked like he had a hold, but the Demons shut it down quickly.
Well, this is a point, too, where the players out on the field, especially for Derby, they are so fired up right now. They're beginning to think they're invincible, and they're coming at you very, very hard. And Dodge City's just got to regroup. They can't think about, oh, woe is me. They've got to regroup and just hold them. Let's take a look at the replay now on that last play. And there's a hole there briefly. Werman leading the way, and then good recovery by the Red Demons.
He was about 1 step away from taking that one for a few yards. Then he gets 2, 2nd and 8. Werman up the middle, just following the big hosses up in the middle, and he is ridden down by Bruce Redenbaugh. Kind of said, stop, just wait 1 second. You're not going anywhere. Inside of a minute to go here in the third. It'll be 3rd down. And Derby is driving. They lead 13-0.
Well, a critical time for Dodge City to stop them right here with 3rd down. They've got to get the football back, and there's no way they can let Derby get another score up on the board and still hope to come back in this one, especially the way Derby has shut down their offense so far.
Big play for the Demons and for the Panthers as well. Malik in motion. Galbraith, will he go to the air? Yes, he will. Here comes the blitz once again, and he is sacked. Every time Dodge City has forced them into a 3rd and 4 or 5, they have been successful. Jesse Giesel getting back to the quarterback, Barry Galbraith.
He's dropping back, and here comes that surge from the defense. There you see Webb on the outside. There's Goobel, there's Goolsby, Giesel, and then Brady Pollington.
That'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 12 minutes to play. The Derby Panthers 12 minutes away from the state final game as they lead the Dodge City Red Demons 13-0. We'll be back with the final period of play right after this on KUPK Channel 13. 36 minutes in the book, 12 more to go, and Derby has the football. Dodge City territory. It's 4th and long from the 33-yard line. They'll go for it just for the simple fact the punt really doesn't do you much good here, because if you kick it in the end zone, it ends up being about a 12-yarder. Plus, if you get the first down, you really do some damage. Long count. Galbraith dropping back. Once again, here comes the rush. He avoids the sack, cuts back inside, and now he's got some room. Oh, this looks dangerous. Here goes Galbraith to the corner of the end zone, touchdown. Beautiful run by Barry Galbraith, and that may be the straw that broke the collective back of the Dodge City Red Demons.
Terrific run by Galbraith that time. It was 4th and long. They were on about the, what was that, about the 33-yard line? About the 33-yard line. And he was about to be sacked several yards deep in the end zone, and he made a terrific effort to get free. Here comes the rush. There you see him. Bruce Redenbach's back there. Goolsby, they get tangled up. They can't get him. Suddenly he's got an open field, gets a terrific block right there from Josh Riedel off of Shane Webb, and then he just does the rest on his own. Some great open field running. Just outruns the Red Demons to the end zone.
Timeout Derby on the extra point as they want to line up and go for 2. We'll take the timeout as well. Derby leading 19-0 with the extra point to come. Derby will line up to go for the 2-point conversion as they miss the last extra point kick. 11:47 to go here in the 4th. They are up 19-0 over the Dodge City Red Demons. And boy, bit of a surprise. And now we've got whistles and possibly a Dodge City timeout. 11:47 to go, 19-0. Dodge City calls a timeout. We'll just keep it here. But right now, Dodge City has to do something drastic to get back in this game.
Well, you know, Monty, when you give a team the opportunity to work with a short field, and that's exactly what Dodge City's done tonight. The first touchdown came on a 40-yard drive set out by that bad snap on the punt. Derby only had to go 40 yards. The second touchdown, they only had to go 5 yards because of the recovery of the fumble run back to the 5-yard line. And this time, they had a 27. They had the ball on the 27. Actually scored from the 33 because they'd lost the yardage before that touchdown.
And
but
here is the touchdown.
Three times they've scored. It's because Dodge City has given them the short field to work with.
And this is good defense. They get good pressure on the quarterback. It's just they all get tangled up, as you said, and there's a great block from Josh Riedel, and then Galbraith just does the rest.
Once he got by the line of scrimmage, the defense was so spread out because the secondary was back playing for the pass. There was no way for all of them to recover in time to catch up to him. Great running by Galbraith, and he takes it on in, and that could be the nail right there.
Here comes the 2-point conversion. Galbraith on the option, and he will be snowed under by Goolsby. So the extra point attempt will fail. With 11:47 to go, Derby maintains that 19-0 lead, and Dodge City needs to get back in this one, and they need to get back in a hurry. They need 3 scores to come back in this one, no matter how you slice it.
Well, and it's got to be through the big play. For one thing, they haven't been able to sustain any drives since early in the ball game at all, and they don't have time, even if they could sustain a drive. They've got to get some big plays. A kickoff return would be a great place to start, and they've got some speed back there to do that with, but we'll see how Derby plays it as far as kicking off to the Red Demons.
Well, don't be surprised if Dick Masters still has a few tricks up his sleeve.
He's going to need them, I think, right now.
He's tried a few reverses tonight. This Derby defense is very well disciplined.
Well, and they've scouted Dodge City very, very well, obviously. They know what the Red Demons like to do. They've been waiting for those bread and butter plays, and they've picked them up whenever they've come.
Dodge City had their chances in the first half and sort of let them get away. Now it's costing them here in the second. Chris DeVore will kick it off once again. Boot is high. This is going to be a tough one to get a good return on. Taken at the 20, the 25. That's Cahoon to the 30, and he is nailed right there. Cahoon was the up man, and he came up the middle and just got drilled at the 30, but decent field position.
Well, those kicks are short, but they're also high, and that gives the coverage team time to get down there and set up. So the Dodge City gets some decent field position, but they don't get a great return out of it because the coverage was right there, and they really need 70 yards is a long way to go right now, the way Derby has been shutting down the Dodge City offense.
Well, we mentioned Dodge City, not much of a passing team. They may be forced to go to the air here. Goolsby off the right side, and he's just running into everybody and going nowhere.
And there were 4 green shirts over there greeting him. Tyler Malik was one of them over there. There's a number of it that I caught, and the whole left side of the Derby defense was right there. Josh Riedel and company all there to greet Brian Goolsby.
Well, right now, the Dodge City line just not getting the push they were getting in the first half. They were knocking Derby off the ball in the first half, and that gave Goolsby a chance to get a couple good steps under him. And when he does that, he is very tough to stop. Now we've got somebody in the neutral zone. I know Derby came across, but were they drawn? We'll let the officials sort it out. 10:50 to go.
Good ball, encroachment, green.
I believe that's Derby's first penalty in the second half.
I think so. That's one of the few mistakes they've made in the second half. They had some problems in the first half hanging on to the football, but they've not had any problems here in the second half. They've played very, very well. They've done what they needed to do to open up this big lead.
Yeah, the only other mistake you can think of is on the punt where Dodge City kicked the ball away and it hit a Derby player. Dodge City got the ball back, but they were unable to do anything with it. Priest coming in motion to the near side. Goolsby on the sweep. Goolsby got a pretty good head of steam and gets a first down now to the 41. 10.5 minutes to go. Clock will stop on the first down.
Good yardage, and he got the first down, but look at the pursuit of the Derby Panthers. There were 4 green jerseys over there gang tackling Brian Goolsby. He's a good, strong runner, but he's not strong enough to just take on the entire Derby team, and the Panthers are doing a great job of pursuing and getting to the ball, especially here in the second half. Here's the pitch to Goolsby, trying to find anything out there. A decent hole up front, and then the green jerseys just swarm around him.
First and 10 for Dodge City, and we've got the Gwaltney jump, it looked like, from his left tight end position. He went forward, and that'll be 5 yards against Dodge City. So once again, whenever they get something going, they seem to just head back in the wrong direction.
It sits early in the game.
Here we go.
That's the way it's been. 2 steps forward,
Good
3
ball.
steps back.
Ball start, White.
Once again, if you didn't catch it at halftime in the first quarter score, we had Lawrence High and Olathe East tied at 7 apiece. And the Liberal Redskins, boy, just putting it to Salina South this evening, 44-0 at the half. Looks like they've got a date for Lawrence next Saturday afternoon. One of these teams will, as well as it looks like it will be Derby right now. Unless Dodge City can get something going. Brian Goolsby pushes ahead for about 3. For 3 yards a pop, ain't going to do it right now.
Well, no, Dodge City is, the running game is their strength, obviously, and you sometimes have to rely on that. But when you're down 19-0 with less than 10 minutes to play in the game, it's not time for 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
.9:45 and counting now. Derby really dropping back in a deep zone. Cahoon wants to throw. He's got a man. That will be Chet Schmidt, and he's going to be short of the first down, plus he stays inbounds, so the clock will keep on ticking.
Good pursuit that time. Troy Glazer over there, also Tyson Malik on the coverage. And let's take a look at it. Cahoon dropping back, has just enough time there, pretty good time. And Schmidt's open, and then here's the pursuit. There's Glazer, there's Malik, and they're right there very, very quickly. Good speed on this defense for Derby.
Third and about 3.5, maybe 4. We're right at the 9-minute mark. Huge, huge third down for Dodge City. If they have any hopes of coming back, they have to convert this one. Pitch to Goolsby. He wants to throw. He gets it away. His man is pushed. Oh, there's no flag. Oh, boy, Chet Schmidt just got 2 hands in the back for his trouble. And no flag on the play. Let's see if we can take a look at it again, because sure looked like he got pushed, Kirk.
Here's the replay. Goolsby, good pursuit that time from Riedel getting back there. And, yeah, Glazer had a
he got a
hand
forearm
down
right in the back. 4th down, you got to go here. I would think with 8:46, you're down by 3 scores.
Well, looks like they're setting up. They're setting up in punt formation. I wouldn't be surprised if they faked it.
Well, there's the snap and the kick. Nice kick by Gwaltney. Fair catch signal for and taken. We'll take a break with 8:39 to go. Our score, Derby 19, Dodge City nothing. And unless something drastic happens, the Derby Panthers will be making another trip to the state finals. Still 8:38 to go. And Kirk, tell us about something from our friends from the state.
You know, as we're enjoying this game tonight, coaches should set a good example for players and fans, always exemplifying the highest moral and ethical behavior. Participants should treat opponents with respect and shake hands prior to and after contest. Fans should be fans, not fanatics. That's sportsmanship.
Right now, the Derby Panthers would love nothing more than to grind it out on the ground. Here's Tyson Malik, and he is stopped. Little or no gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and about 10.
And the Red Demons, they're still going to play defense out here. They're playing. They've got a lot of pride, and they're going to play hard here at the end. And they've still got a chance, the way they look at it, if they can get the football back, especially deep in Derby territory, if they can force a turnover. The Panthers did have 2 turnovers in the first half, and if the Red Demons could force something here, they might get themselves set up with a short field to work with.
Right now, you're in the situation where you have to start looking at onside kicks if you score and things like that. When that happens, you know things aren't looking too good. Shelby Werman up the middle once again. This kid's played his guts out tonight. He has done some hard running up the middle and also played some good defense.
Well, he really has, and he has been all over the field on defense, and he's run very hard when he's had the ball. He hasn't had a lot of carries, but he's had enough to keep the defense honest, and he runs very hard, takes advantage of them. And we talked about him earlier, but a great offensive line for Derby, especially here in the second half. They've really been able to push some people off the ball. Doug Simpler, 200-pound senior at center, Ross Rainey and D. Duncan, seniors at the guard positions. They've done a great job.
Big 3rd down once again, 3rd and 3. And the Panthers will go to Tyson Malik. Malik is hit in the backfield and brought down at the 25-yard line. See if Dodge City doesn't think about taking a timeout here with 7:13.
Chet Schmidt finished him off that time, but there were several players that got to him first. Looked like it might have been Bruce Redenbaugh back there as well. And Bruce has really worked hard down there. You can tell by his jersey he's been working hard tonight. He spent a lot of time on the ground, obviously, pushing and fighting his way along that line of scrimmage.
Dodge City will let the clock run, and Derby's not going to stop it. You know that. 19-0. Dodge City's got to strike quick. Werman to punt. Dodge City could use a block here. Oh, we got a flag. And let's see who it goes against. We'll get a delay of game that goes against Derby. So back him up 5, let him kick.
Well, Dodge City was trying to anticipate the snap that time to get a break on the rush. And Derby may have been thinking if they could draw him off, they'd get the easy 1st down that way, but it didn't work out.
You see a lot of the flinch moves like Neil Smith likes to use.
Delay game right here. Still 4 down.
Saw the guys from Dodge City flinching a lot, trying to get Derby to jump. Neither team was going to move across the line of scrimmage, and
so the official jumped and threw a flag.
The time ran out on him. 6:34 to go. Well, the Derby crowd has had a lot to cheer about tonight. 19-0 our score. Here's the snap. It's a good one. Werman's kick, a low line drive. Takes a big hop. Dodge City's going to have pretty good field position, just inside their own territory at the 47, 48-yard line. 6:24 to go. Once again, Kirk, they got to do something in a hurry.
And, you know, they've had good punt protection back there tonight. Troy Glazer laid a terrific block on Andy Smith as he was rushing back there trying to get to the punter. Glazer was right there and really did a good job back there. This Derby team, they block and tackle well. They play very well in all the fundamentals, and they hit hard. And Dodge City has been known as a hard-hitting team all season long. We've talked about how they are a power team, and they've just knocked a lot of people down. Derby's the same type of team. And tonight, Derby's the one doing the knocking.
They certainly have, and the clock is moving. Dodge City needs to get in and out of the huddle in a hurry. They got to save as many seconds off that clock as they can. Cahoon will look to throw. Good blocking. He goes deep. Pass is overthrown as he looked for Chet Schmidt.
Once again, it's happened once before. He and Chet kind of going opposite directions that time, and Schmidt had to kind of turn around to try to find the ball. Ty with the fake of the handoff. I don't think anybody on Derby bid on that.
Good blocking by Goolsby and Andy Smith in the backfield. But Cahoon just threw it behind him.
You can see the end there. Chet Schmidt was going one way. The ball was headed the other direction.
Maybe a little middle screen to Brian Goolsby wouldn't be a bad idea right here. Here's the handoff to Andy Smith. Smith off the left-hand side gets across the 50, but still going to be third and about 5, and that clock is still rolling.
You know, Monty, we talked about early in the game what a strong running team Dodge City is and how the main ball carriers on the team all averaging 7 yards plus per carry. I don't think anybody's gotten their average tonight.
No, not at all.
Derby has done a terrific job shutting down Dodge City's offense. They've had a terrific game plan defensively coming in. They've done what they had to do.
Inside 5.5 to go now. 3rd and 5. Cahoon runs the option. Cahoon will cut it up. He's got the first down, maybe. He's close.
Looked like he was going to get it, and then Tyler Malik reached out and snatched him. And trying to see if that was Josh Riedel over there as well. 2 guys got him and just pulled him back, and they may have pulled him back just enough.
Well, the clock's still running, so he obviously is short. 4th down. This is the game right here. Dodge City has slim hopes. They would be none if they don't make this first down. There's Goolsby up the middle, and well, he might have got there.
He might have fallen for it as he fell forward a little bit, so it might have been enough, but he was hit before the line of scrimmage. Good defense.
They'll stop the clock. Regardless, it's either a change of possession or a first down. They're going to bring in the chains, boy.
They're going to take a look at it. Well, he may have fallen forward enough. The initial hit stopped him short, but Goolsby managed to turn himself around and then fall forward. So we'll see. There you see the Panther sideline, and now look at the change.
He may be short. No, he
just
got it.
Just enough.
Boy.
But with 4.5 minutes to go, you don't want to be fighting for inches when you're down 3 touchdowns. Inches aren't what you need.
Yeah, it's a small moral victory there. I think you got to take a shot right here and go for it as the clock is running in Dodge City, still in the huddle. They got to get up to that line and get a play run. Cahoon on the inside handoff to Smith. That's going nowhere, and the clock will run. See if they spend a timeout here.
You know, so many of the favorite plays that the Red Demons like to run to keep you off balance, the inside handoff, the reverse to Ronnie Freese, the option. Derby's been ready for every one of those. There's not one of those plays that's caught them off guard.
And also, when you run those at this stage of the game, you're not going to stop the clock. Everything they like to run is between the tackles. And as you say, Derby has really stacked it up inside. The clock just keeps on ticking. Cahoon drops back. Wants to go deep. Once again, he's pressured. Now he's got some running room to the right. If he stays outside, he can get out of bounds, but he's going to be stacked up. First down, they'll stop the clock nonetheless, but a nice run by Ty Cahoon.
Well, and you know, not thinking about trying to stop the clock, Ty was trying to do what you teach him. You follow somebody who can block for you, and he was following Goolsby. He had Brian out there to block for him, and he was trying to follow him, see if Brian could open a hole for him. He's got some time to pass. If he can find somebody to throw to, then things start to break down for him. Good pressure that time. That was number 62 getting in there. And then he gets outside. There's Goolsby trying to lead him downfield, give him a block. And he's finally stuffed.
Forced back inside on that play.
Justin Williams, the guy who got in for Derby to put pressure on him.
And here comes Cahoon on the bootleg. Boy, he is stacked up once again, and you got to start taking timeouts right now, I would think. 3 minutes and counting. You're down by 3 scores, and the clock is running. They're not going to call timeout. They're just going to keep going. Boy, and they go to the huddle and everything.
It may be a matter of just looking at calling timeouts and just prolonging the agony almost, because they've just about run out of air here.
2nd and 10. 19-0 Derby lead. The Panthers with some bitter memories of the state game last year. They want to get back there.
They wouldn't
try
mind
to
if
erase
Lawrence
some
was
of
on
those.
the other side.
Boy,
either.
they'd love to see Dick Purdy's Lawrence High Lion. Cahoon drilled once again. They're not going to bite on that anymore. Yeah, it looks like Dodge City's going to be content just to run this clock out.
I think Dick Masters just wants to go home right now. Let's take a look at the replay.
Well, now they will call timeout.
Like you say, they're not biting on that fake up the middle. They know there's nothing going there, so they're just waiting for Cahoon to try to get outside. Jeff Raylander over there, the first one to make the hit for the Derby Panthers. This is a strong Derby team, and they've shown some offensive punch this year, more so than last year's team. Last year's team was a good defensive team, but this year's team has also shown great punch on offense, and that might be enough to get them that state title this time around.
Pat Lawnberg into the game for Dodge City. Senior seeing his first action of the night, and here goes Cahoon. Throws it out, and incomplete. Lawnberg came up with a catch, but they say it hits the ground. Well, you can see Masters just wants to get those seniors in there and get them a play.
And
Lawnberg laid out for that one. This is a great catch.
Here's the replay on that. Cahoon trying to buy some time by rolling out, and he's looking for him all the way. Nice dive.
Ooh.
That's pretty close.
We may be able to tell a little better from the reverse angle. Let's see if we can.
Let's take a look at it from this angle. Let's see it from the official's position. You see the official just moved right in front of the camera. So we've got it from about the same viewpoint he had. And
oh, that's just...
Well,
okay. Yeah, there it came out,
He cradled it with the ground there.
Boy, that's a tough one not to give to him.
Yeah.
Here goes Cahoon. He is sacked once again back to the 40-yard line. That was 4th down, and Derby will run out the clock and as well run out the season on the Dodge City Red Demons. As they stopped the clock, Ty Cahoon was down for a bit. I believe it was more frustration than anything else. Well, Ty Cahoon will have another shot. He's just a junior. But boy, your heart goes out to some of these Derby seniors, and the whole front line, with the exception of Bruce Redenbaugh on the offense. You've got Tony Esparza, Jeremy Dirks, Brady Paulington, and Shane Webb, all seniors. Jason Brandenburg, also a senior. Chet Schmidt, Brian Goolsby, Ronnie Freese, Andy Smith. Boy, all those guys one game away from the state finals, and they will be denied here tonight as the Derby Panthers are on their way to Lawrence once again.
These seniors, Goolsby and company, in their careers have given the Dodge City fans some great games, some great moments. And, every season's got to end somewhere. But you always wish that it could end with a victory, but only one team in each class gets to end it that way at the end with the state title. Not everybody gets to end with a state championship.
A little bit of frustration now as Shelby Werman takes the handoff. We're inside of a minute now. The Dodge City faithful are making their reservations right now for Lawrence next week.
And, on the defense, too, we talked about some of those offensive seniors. Troy Thomas, terrific season.
Boy, what
for
a
him.
season he's had.
And some of these guys for Dodge City, they're going to show up playing college ball next year. Small college or major college, they're going to be out there. Troy Thomas among them, Brian Goolsby, Andy Smith probably. Some of these guys are going to get their shot next year to play some more football.
There's Shelby Werman breaking a tackle, breaking another tackle, and he is taken down at about the 42-yard line. They'll stop the clock to move the chain, and the celebration has begun here in Derby. Well, you see the Dodge City faithful, they're heading to their cars.
Monty, we've broadcast 3 games now with the Dodge City Red Demons, and I've been impressed with them this season. They've had a terrific year. This is a very, very good football team, and this is just one loss against a whole string of wins that they've had this year. It's been a good, successful year for Dodge City.
Oh, it certainly has. You can't take away from anything they have done this year. And they really played hard here tonight. It was just Derby made some adjustments at halftime and came out, and they shut down Dodge City.
They sure did. They took advantage of some mistakes. and now we've got a personal foul.
And unsportsmanlike conduct goes against Dodge City. Some frustration once again.
And Dick Masters is out there on the field with his team, and he's regrouping, and he said, come on, guys. You know, let's just finish this game. It's been a good season. And they've played well this year, and they played well tonight. They made some mistakes. They made some turnovers that gave Derby. It actually came from the 33 because of a loss of yardage earlier in that series. But it's been a short field that Derby's worked with to score those touchdowns, so it's been a good game for Dodge City. They played hard tonight.
And Tom Young deserves a lot of credit. He had his troops ready to play.
And like you said, they made some adjustments at halftime.
They sure did.
To deal with this Dodge City offense and just completely shut down the Red Demons in the second half.
And you can see some of the, you can tell by the sidelines which team is on top. Dodge City looking dejected. Derby knows they have one more game to prepare for. Boy, wouldn't they love a shot at the Lawrence Lions. Still some pretty good hitting going on, and they'll count it down. The Derby Panthers are going to the state finals.
Second year in a row for Derby.
And the Dodge City Red Demons can only think of what if. What if we hadn't turned the ball over? What if we hadn't given them that? But the simple fact is they did, Kirk.
They did. They made mistakes, and we had talked about it early in the season when we saw them. We said, you know, the two things that strikes against them, penalties and turnovers, and sooner or later it may cost them a game. It did tonight.
And it certainly did. Your final score, the Derby Panthers 19, the Dodge City Red Demons nothing. We'd like to thank you for joining us this evening on KUPK Channel 13.